Nearing the end of my time in Dimona, I began to understand the cultural and social practices of the community, but I was still confused as to what religious box they fitted into, if at all. So Mariel took me to Jerusalem to try and explain the religious practices of the African Hebrew people.
We are Jewish. We are Jewish in the sense that we trace our tribal roots back to Judah. So we are Jewish in that sense, but in terms of being adherents to the principles of Judaism, the religion, that we are not.
The religious aspects of the African Hebrew community can get confusing, because even though they identify with some aspects of Judaism, they also identify with some of the Christian beliefs.
This is the property that is in great dispute here. This is the Temple Mount. This is Mount Moriah. Mount Moriah is the mountain on which the patriarch Abraham was about to sacrifice Isaac, which makes this spot then sacred to both Christians and Jews. It is also where in the days of the building of the temple, where the holiest of holies was and the Ark of the Covenant rested. It is also where Muhammad is said to have ascended into heaven, even though there's absolutely no record of him ever having been in Jerusalem. But nevertheless, it is the third holiest shrine in the Islamic world after Mecca and then Medina. Now, in our interpretation, in our reading of Hebrew, and Hebrew being the original language of the scriptures, there's no difference between the words that are used for work and worship. So when you talk about the worshiping of the Creator, in Hebrew it's the same word for work. So when it says in 6 days you shall labor, and the seventh day, does it say go to mosque, go to synagogue, go to church? No, it says the seventh day you rest. So where do you work? Where do you truly worship the Creator? In the Hebrew thought, this is where you worship the Creator. It's your actions, it's your thoughts. And whatever you are doing during the course of the week, that is your worship. Okay? But never was it to be inside of an edifice or a building. The Creator didn't need us to erect big, huge houses and dedicate them to Him. He just simply needed us to do His works here on this planet, on this earth. We're in a little obscure part of the church. We're over here all by ourselves. But look at these images. Got them in the dark, huh? If you know anything about Pope John Paul II, I have a photograph of him in his personal chapel in the Vatican praying to the Black Madonna of Poland, Our Lady of Czestochowa. There are more than 400 Black Madonnas spread throughout Europe. There's an acknowledgement of the Africanness of the biblical personages.
To be honest, I'm still unsure as to what religion the African Hebrew people are. I think it's because you can't box them according to our definitions. Culturally they are Hebrew, and as far as religion goes, they have adopted parts of various religions that make sense to them intellectually. Being in Jerusalem was strange. It's one really tiny city with almost every religion trying to own a piece of it. And they all fundamentally believe their truth is the only truth, which for me makes none of them true. To Dimona for the New World.
About to happen, we'll call the defeat. The entire community is coming out to dance. What dance for us is a form of God, the Anointed, is going to lead.
Living dictates to. Instead, I found children that are and happy.
It's a village of peace. It's a way of life that we experience, that we live every day. The values that we share, the culture that we live, it's very much connected to African culture and African values. This is a model that we hope that can be replicated throughout Africa.
We discovered that you can live in peace. We discovered that you don't have to drink whiskey and shoot dope and kill people and all. We discovered all of these things.
God has kept his promise that he's returned the children of Israel back to Israel to establish a righteous community that is simply a people that will be governed by truth. No force or power or army or nation on this earth will stop the continual growth and development of the new Adamic civilization.
Africa was the Eden of the Bible. This is the chosen geographical location where the Creator made himself known. And in the new Genesis, it will be the chosen geographical location wherein his great rebirth, the knowledge of his presence, will come back into existence.
I've always tried to live by the old school motto of love thy neighbor, but in my everyday life back home, I get so caught up in running, I forget how easy it is to be kind. I think we all do.
My biggest hope and vision for Africa is that we would come to an understanding of who we are and whose we are, that we would get a new revival of a relationship with God as opposed to more religion with God, more stereotypical religion.
This is the beginning. Here in northeastern Africa, this is the beginning of Africa's restoration to glory. Israel is Africa's ancient spiritual center, not Rome, not Canterbury. And from the ancient spiritual center here in Jerusalem, here in Dimona, this new spirit will go forth, and this new spirit will make everything anew again on this earth.
So I'm leaving Israel today with the lightness in my heart that if we try a little harder to connect, it's possible to find those old school values of love thy neighbor. I feel honored to have been accepted into the African Hebrew community with open arms. Thanks, guys.